Okay, so this is a brief review of a second-hand guitar. One that I think is worth reviewing because I really rate this guitar. I think it's a very important and wonderful possible purchase out there if you're looking for a general versatile guitar that can do a little bit of everything, and I really mean a little bit of everything. It's a guitar from 2024. Sorry, no it's not, that's next year. From 2004. So it's getting on for a 20-year-old guitar, and it's owned by my friend, so he's kindly loaned it to me to review. It's called a Peavey Generation EXP, and I think it also has ACM in the name because it's an acoustic model. This guitar basically, let's see the headstock there, is a Telecaster derived shape. Technically I would now call this a Nashville style Telecaster, so it's a tele body, but it's got the five-way Stratocaster position switch, and therefore it's more really like a Stratocaster wiring. However, it's not really like a Tele or a Stratocaster. Closest to a Strat in its pickup selection, but we have a configuration here with 3 pickups. Now, we've got a bridge, humbucker here, a Strat style middle, and we have a neck humbucker. The thing about this is you can't coil tap either of these. Which is a shame because a little toggle switch or a push-pull volume or something similar would have been great to be able to toggle, but you could retrofit that, and that's one of the points I want to make here. This guitar is an incredibly versatile instrument. It's not without its faults. It's for the money, actually pretty incredible. You're picking them up second hand from 200 to about £350 on a quick search on Reverb and eBay. But you get them in various different configurations. Some don't have the acoustic part, and some have got 2 humbuckers. Sorry, I've got 2 single coil and a humbucker, and honestly I think there might be other variations that I just don't know. You'll also find quite a few online, it's worth saying, which have already had pickup swaps, which is exactly what I would recommend. The guitar's good enough to have swaps. It has a beautiful, smooth, satin finished maple neck, made in Korea. I love these people that do guitar reviews online. They look and they say whether it's a Schaller or a whatever type tuning head. I don't know what it is. It's a non-locking head. There's no play in it at all. There is no slippage, no movement. If you look at the body itself, it's strings through the body string change. Unusually, and I quite like this, we have a 5-bolt neck. So it's a bolt-on neck, but 5 bolts. I know that Fender went in the 70s to 3 bolts on some of their guitars. Peavey are not taking any chances. It's a bolt-on neck, but it might as well be glued. It's solidly bolted. The other thing about the back is it's an active guitar. Actually, technically, it's not the whole guitar that's active. This is a pickup cover for a little 9-volt battery, and beautifully, you don't actually, you can see my little Amazon Electronics 9-volt there. Look, you can't even lose the cover. It swings open and it clips closed. A few guitar makers could learn from that. We don't need a screwdriver to change a battery in the middle of playing. Okay, so just quickly, what do we need to know about this instrument? Well, first of all, this toggle switch here. Oh, sorry, one other thing I should say. Now that I bring it close, it's got a quilted maple finish. I'm not sure whether it's the real deal or whether it's a very thin veneer. I don't care. It's a nice looking guitar. The top is in at least 2 parts, maybe 3 parts. You can vaguely see the change under the, you know, where the glue joints are underneath the veneer, but it's absolutely smooth. No one's going to notice that isn't looking as I am just now in kind of review mode. So, lovely. What I was going to say is, what do we need to know? Well, toggle switch here is the main sound selector for this model. And if you go into this nearest the guitarist's head up position, then it's purely in acoustic mode. And that's because I've got a little distortion pedal. And I'm told only in the Korean models, this one's made in Korea, the little sticker says, you can hear it's got a Fishman piezo saddle arrangement. I think it's great for a solid body mid-range, well, low to mid-range price guitar. But also apparently they put one in the neck pocket. So you get quite a bit of resonance going on that, honestly, it feels like it has no right to have. So you'll have heard in my opening demo using a looper and just one electric sound with the middle pickup, one electric sound in the bridge pickup with a little Behringer, a little cheap overdrive kind of copy of a, what do you call it, of a tube screamer. But for me, that's a pretty usable acoustic sound. And if you're into doing your looper, hear the body resonance. This is a totally solid guitar. So there's one thing you can do. If you move it to the bottom position with the little toggle switch, it's an electric guitar. And just briefly, I should say this is played through a, what do you call it? A Katana, which is right here behind me, a 50-watt Boss Katana. Purely because I think it's a really good standard amp that everyone kind of knows the sound of. A modelling amp obviously, but standard. So if I just go to the neck position, And if I go to the middle pickup, which you've heard already in the mix, this is the more Strat-like pickup. Honestly, the three pickups, this is the best one. I wouldn't feel any need to swap this one. And when you go to the rear position here at the bridge, what you've got is a humbucker, more like a kind of DiMarzio style. It's a hot humbucker, I think. It's fairly high output. And just for completeness, the in-between positions, because the middle pickup is a pretty standard Strat style middle, it gives you quite nice, I presume there might be some phase effect here. For me, these are the most usable casual sounds. But you can kind of see here, same in the out of phase or the position between the neck and the middle. You can see the versatility. You're getting fairly Strat-like sounds with this setup. Not perfectly so, but much of the flavour. You could use the slightly, I think, flatter, softer neck humbucker for jazz style sounds. And remember, you can adjust that in your EQ. If you decide that's the pickup configuration that works for you, then go for it and just brighten it up a little bit in EQ. That may not balance terribly well with the with the needs of the middle pickup. So honestly, if I was keeping this in the long run and gigging it, I'd swap out the humbucker at the front for something a little bit more vintage but sharp sounding, you know, maybe an Alnico or something like that. But honestly, as a package, the versatility is undeniable. And finally, that little toggle switch also has a centre position, so you can be playing things. As you'll hear, that's a middle Strat style pickup, but and piezo. And this sounds good to me. Now you get a lot of sharpness. So, mega versatile guitar. I absolutely, I don't know which camera I'm talking to here, I absolutely think this is as good a second-hand buy as you could get if you're looking for, you know, a single electric guitar that can do a little bit of everything, and you want the electroacoustic thing as well, maybe for the intro to some songs that you want to go mainly electric on with a little effects pedal. One warning I would say, I've already said I love it, I think the versatility is fabulous, it's a wide range of sounds, but one warning is if you leave this lead in, then your 9-volt battery will drain. It won't stop your electric sounds from working, but it will stop the piezo, you know, the Fishman acoustic sound from working. It depends on the battery. As long as you take the lead out, there's no problem. It's switched off, there's no power drain. So I love it, and I'm sure its various other variations will be good because the basic work in it, the neck, the setup, the feel, the adjustability, it's all great. So consider it Peavey Generation EXP ACM or its many variations. 20-year-old second-hand guitar that's still, with a couple of quid spent on it, would be a stellar instrument. Hope this is interesting to any of you that have seen one and are thinking, I might be interested. Try it out.